English Learning Podcast.
Listen, speak, and level up.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. This is Linda, and sitting right beside me today is Michael. How are you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing great, Linda. Happy to be here with all our listeners again. The weather's nice lately, and it always puts me in a good mood for a deep chat.
Totally agree. Today, we want to talk about a topic that's simple, but hits really close to home for every one of us. Have you ever had this feeling? When someone reaches out a hand to pull you up when you're stuck, the saddest thing isn't the hard times themselves. It's halfway through, you realize you've lost your strength and let go first.
That's such a vivid image. I know exactly what you mean. A lot of people go through tough patches in life, right? When we're at a low point, we often think our biggest struggles are lack of money or connections. But honestly, the hardest part is the inner unease.
Precisely. Every time a chance comes along, we're filled with anxiety. We doubt ourselves, worry we're not good enough, fear others will look down on us, and keep thinking this might be our last shot. It's a mix of hope and fear that weighs on our minds a lot.
People tend to overcomplicate the kindness from others too. We assume those who offer help are only after benefits or rewards, so we hold back and feel insecure.
That's the main point we want to unpack today. Most people who choose to help you are not as calculating as you think. They see your current difficulties, know you don't have many advantages right now, and understand you can't pay them back immediately. Yet they still reach out, give you advice, introduce opportunities, or remind you of important things. That alone means they believe in you. They think you still have room to grow.
Human relationships and favors are always subtle. Let's dive deeper into this today and talk about what truly matters when someone gives you a hand.
Let's start with this. What do you think people look for when they decide to help someone? We usually guess they care about wealth or status, but it's rarely the case.
Exactly. A genuine helper doesn't wait for material rewards. What they truly want is feedback and progress. If you get a chance and stay silent, leave things hanging with no updates, that's far more disappointing than not getting a perfect result.
I couldn't agree more. Being poor or starting from the bottom is just a temporary situation. But if you never give others proper updates or follow-ups, people will hesitate to lift you up again later. Every favor from someone actually costs them something most of the time.
That's a key truth for adults. A simple word of recommendation, a casual introduction, these are never just easy gestures. When someone refers you to a client, they're using their own reputation as a guarantee. When they pass your resume along, they take responsibility for judging your ability.
Right. Whether it's arranging a meeting, sharing resources, or connecting you with people, they spend their time and draw on their own social bonds for you. These costs are invisible, not written down anywhere, but everyone who understands human relationships knows. Every time someone speaks up for you, they use up a little bit of their own credibility.
I heard a real story not long ago, which perfectly explains this point. A local business owner who runs short video lifestyle content shared his experience with us. A young newcomer wanted to get into the food review industry and asked him for help.
Let me guess, he didn't give the young man money or make big promises, right?
Yep, He simply passed on a small cooperation order from a restaurant brand, a simple task with low requirements. The rules were clear. Talk with the store on the first day, finish the script on the second day, and send out the outline before shooting. It was a great starting opportunity for a newbie.
That sounds like a fair chance for someone just starting out. What happened next?
Sadly, the young man only sent one message saying, "I've arrived," on the first day, then went completely quiet. The brand side kept asking about the progress, and the boss found out later. No script was written, no outline was sent, and he didn't even ask about the restaurant's selling points.
Oh, wow, that's really awkward. What was his explanation?
He said he was afraid his work wouldn't be good enough, so he kept overthinking and delaying. On the surface, it's just nervousness and lack of confidence, no bad intentions. But the problem is obvious.
I get his nervousness. When we're unsure of ourselves, we tend to hide our unfinished work. But this is the biggest mistake here. If you're stuck or worried about the quality, you can speak up early. You can send a rough draft for advice or ask for guidance when you don't know what to do.
Exactly. The most damaging thing to trust is not poor ability, but leaving people in the dark. The boss said something really memorable. "I don't mind a beginner who still has a lot to learn. What I fear most is being unable to explain myself to others because of them."
That line hits hard. A lot of us only focus on our own stress and anxiety when we receive help, but we forget the other person is also bearing consequences. If you drag your feet and never update them, they have to make excuses for you. If you fail to deliver results, they have to clean up the mess.
Worse still, their judgment will be questioned by others afterward. Next time when they want to recommend someone else, people will doubt their eye for talent. Great opportunities and valuable connections are often lost not because of big mistakes, but countless small cases of no response.
There's a wise old saying from Han Feizi. For those who may not know, Han Feizi was a famous ancient Chinese philosopher and the leading figure of legalism. The line goes, "Small promises kept build great trust." It's totally applicable here. Deep trust never appears overnight. It's built step by step through small things.
Let's list some simple examples. If you promise to send documents in the afternoon, send them on time. If you say you'll give results by Wednesday, deliver what you have then. Whenever you run into problems, take the initiative to explain the situation before others ask. These actions are plain and unremarkable, but they're incredibly valuable.
Unfortunately, we've all met the opposite type of people. They are super enthusiastic and sincere at the very beginning. Once you hand a task or opportunity to them, everything changes. They make up excuses, broken computers, sudden emergencies, needing more time.
Each excuse sounds reasonable alone, but after several times, people will quietly cross your name off their list of reliable people. Trust fades away silently. No one will tell you directly, "I won't help you anymore." They just stop replying to your messages, stop sharing resources, and stop offering key chances.
Many people misunderstand this. They think the relationship just naturally grows distant, or that others become cold and realistic. In fact, the other person has already decided you're not someone they can trust with important things.
It's ironic, isn't it? When we're down and out, we crave big opportunities more than anything. We long for someone to pull us out of trouble. Yet in this anxious state, we always overlook small details. We think daily follow-ups are a waste of time, and we hide our unfinished work out of inferiority, hoping to show a perfect result eventually.
But human connections don't work that way. People don't wait for a perfect outcome to feel relieved. What they really need is clarity on the whole process. Uncertainty is what makes people uneasy and hesitant to keep supporting you.
Another common mistake we make after receiving help is mixing gratitude with real accountability. Saying thank you repeatedly is nice, but it can never take the place of actual progress and updates.
A consultant friend once shared an interesting observation from his work. He gives advice to new content creators, helping them polish topics, titles, and business plans. Do you know who he's willing to keep supporting?
I bet it's not the people who praise him the most.
You're right. It's those who come back with real progress later. Some will send screenshots and say, I followed your advice, the views went up a little, but there are new comments. I plan to adjust my content this way.
That's so reassuring for a helper. Others will honestly say, I tried the method you suggested, but it didn't work. I think the audience group isn't a match, so I'll try a new direction next. Simple updates like these make people feel their advice is put into use, not just empty comfort.
On the flip side, the most exhausting people are those who get excited during the talk, then do nothing afterward. Later, they come back complaining about no opportunities, no mentors, and no access to good circles. The problem is never the lack of advice, but the lack of action.
People will keep investing in you only when they see you move forward, little by little, after every help. Warm words can only touch people temporarily, but steady actions win long-term trust.
A lot of small troubles in relationships start with the thought, it's no big deal. Putting off forwarding a file for Bort 2 days, never reporting the result after a meeting someone arranged for you, staying silent about whether you used a revised plan or how it worked. We think these tiny things don't matter because everyone is busy.
But favors and trust are counted in these tiny details. People who help you don't necessarily expect expensive gifts or grand returns. They just want to know their efforts have landed somewhere. If there's no result or no feedback, they feel their judgment was wrong, and they'll become extra cautious about using their connections for you next time.
There's a famous old saying from records of the grand historian: a promise from one trustworthy man is worth more than 100 pounds of gold. This saying has stood the test of time because reliable people are always rare. Money solves temporary problems, but trust lets others reach out to you again and again.
Over the years, working in content and business, I've learned one thing for sure. People who are willing to give you chances don't mind if you start with nothing. What they fear is you disappearing after one opportunity, putting up defenses when they remind you, or failing to deliver every time they trust you. Slowly, the relationship stays on the surface, while trust fades completely.
At this point, many people mistakenly think their benefactors have become too realistic. But the truth is, the other person hasn't changed. They just realize helping you costs more and more, while they get fewer and fewer updates.
So what's the best way to repay someone's kindness? You don't have to wait until you're wealthy to treat them to fancy dinners or expensive gifts. When you're still starting out, you can't offer big favors in return, and that's totally fine.
The most genuine reward is simple. Don't make them regret helping you. Don't force them to make excuses for you. Don't make them chase you for updates. And don't let them sigh every time they think of you. That's enough.
I really love this simple rule for getting along with others. Ask clearly before starting, give updates while working, and deliver results afterward. Even if the result is not ideal, explain what you've done, where you got stuck, and your next plan.
People like this may not be powerful right now, but they are trustworthy. And in all walks of life, being reliable is far more important than being good at talking.
When someone holds out a hand to lift you up, don't let go halfway. Cherish every chance, keep people posted, and stick to small promises. These small efforts will eventually build a solid foundation for your future.
Life is full of ups and downs. We all need a hand from others now and then. Let's remember, kindness deserves response, and trust deserves to be guarded.
Thank you all for listening to today's sharing. We hope these words can bring you some thoughts and inspiration.
If you have similar stories or ideas about trust and reliability, feel free to leave a comment and share with us. We'll see you in our next episode.
Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.